Welcome back, my gardening friends. Well, it's December 29th 2023. We're in between storms, which have caused absolute mayhem here in the UK for some, and I'm trying to get a few jobs done between the Christmas and New Year holiday break. And many thanks for all the kind words, comments and continued support via my viewers and subscribers. And if you're new to my channel, please remember the thumbs up or a thumbs down, and why not consider subscribing and leave a comment if you've got any suggestions what you do and when you do it. These are the autumn fruiting raspberry canes. I let them dry there, then I sort them out, and eventually they'll become pea supports. We've cleared all these down here. I've just left a few just so that you can see what we actually do. And basically we just autumn fruiting, we cut them right off at the bottom via just a few inches, millimeters, and eventually after a couple of years they break out, so you can just have a little fertile in there and just clean them out. I'm thinking about picking some of the better ones, the better crowns, whatever we want to call them, and split them up because some of the raspberries down that end don't do as well. So that's just food for thought. All these raspberries were volunteers on this plot, or they were on this plot when I was digging it over. I found them, saved them, potted them up, and we planted them there. And of course we wasn't sure whether they were autumn or summer, but they turned out to be autumn. And of course the difference between autumn and summer fruiting is that summer fruiting actually fruit on the canes that grew this year. So the autumn ones, they grow when they fruit, whereas the summer fruiting, we have to take out all the dead wood, or last year's wood, or the wood that fruited this time, and again we just nip round, and as they die off after a couple of years completely. And again, these can be moved and split up as and when, but these did well this year, so they'll stay there. And these supports, I just need to undo that strop there and bring all these in. It just helps stop them from flopping over, and we took the tops out, which helps and encourages some side growth. I'll show you that on plot 3 in the actual fruit cage. We had masses and masses of blackberries last year. As you can see, there's still lots about, and all these are physically the old blackberries that we didn't harvest, and the seeds will be in there somewhere on some of them. But if you can see there, the brown wood and then the very lovely green wood, we take as much of that brown wood out as we can, and then we end up with something that looks like this. Again, after a while they do break off. It just keeps them tidy, and looks like that one there has just bent over, so we'll take that one out, cut it off. And I have been really brutal, but I've got absolutely loads in the freezer, so it won't be an issue if we don't get too much this time. But sometimes it's better to cut it right back and get less, because sometimes you get more instead of making it too busy. Still on the blackberries, one of the branches similar to that one fell down, hit the ground, and most fruit bushes and strawberries do love wood chips, and we've got a couple there that we can now dig up and propagate to replace any, or to add in as and when we want to, because eventually these will get too old and we'll have to dig them out, so it's best to get a new one planted in between to replace any that get a bit too old. And we've got one here. I've cut the branches off so that it fills out, so that when we do plant it or give it away, it'll give us a lovely lovely bush effect. And as you see, I haven't tied these in yet, mainly because I need to do something with these. As you can see, it's had many repairs since I started this allotment all those years ago, which is hashtag starting a new allotment. Series 1, 2, 3 and 4, where this was just a complete blank canvas and we repurposed what we could. It's well worth having a look at. I'll put it on the end screen. So I need to do that, then I can tie these in. No good tying them in yet because all the wires will straighten out and we don't want to damage them, but as you can see, I've already lost one because it's snapped off. As you can see, we've been quite busy. I've separated the gooseberries because of the thorns to the currants, and I've been using my Cooljob thorn resistant gloves and the Cooljob bamboo touchscreen gloves. You'll find those in the description below, but when you're handling anything thorny, you can use the secateurs in one hand, one of those gloves in the other, and you don't get stabbed so often. I highly recommend those gloves. So this is my fruit cage. I think I built this in 2014 when I first started this allotment, and I've added and taken away the fruit bushes. The only difference with the fruit in this cage is the birds love the fruit, so that's why we build a cage. And we've got various repairs to do where the birds have tried to get out, as he gets his microphone caught on part of a blackcurrant. Now, we took the tops out of these summer fruiting because they fruited a lot later, and you can see it's throughout lots and lots of legs, and what a wonderful colour that is over the winter. And some of them grew so well, again they've dropped down onto the floor, look. And of course, me and my big hands, I've pulled them out. I thought, well, we can start propagating some of these. This one's still in the ground, so I'll get that out carefully. And there is another one that I found earlier on, so we've got the pot ready, and we'll get those popped in there. These gooseberries always get in the way of me picking the summer fruiting raspberries, and if anybody follows me, they'll know that this is prolific, absolutely prolific. So I'm going to get rid of these two gooseberry bushes, get those potted up for now, and then we'll prepare this ready to take those. We won't get nothing next year because as we've already discussed, next year's growth in 2024 will grow, and then we'll leave them, and then we'll get something in 2025. This is my best black currant bush. It's getting a little bit old in the middle now, so I've decided to take some cuttings. There's no you can always try and drop one of the branches down onto the floor and peg it down, but if you get enough of what we've actually pruned off and just bury it, I'll put some up the sides and some up in the middle just to see if there's any difference. So we'll look after those over the winter, and the ones that die will die, and the ones that grow will grow. They will please themselves. We've tidied this one up. This one will be coming out and being replaced because it's not as good. Moving on to some of the gooseberry bushes. There's one there that was rooted down, and here's another one. So there's where it was attached to the mother. We've cut that out, and we'll tease the roots out there, and we can always pop that up and propagate that one, either for myself or another fellow allotment holder, especially those that have just started out. Move on to the white currants. I ended up with one bush like this. I bought it and they were absolutely beautiful. We took a cutting, well, we took 3. 2 took, I planted one, the other died. So we've got one there growing nicely. This one now is getting a little bit old. We've left some of the darker wood in. We're supposed to take the wood out once it gets to about 3 years old. And of course this was attached to some part, not necessarily that one there, but we will now pop this one up, probably cut it off there somewhere and put it in like that, so that that shoot there goes straight up. Little shoot there growing. And again, we've done exactly the same with this, but I've edged my bets this time, not do 3, I'm doing quite a few, because having some nice red currants and some white currants on the plate, with the red currants being a little bit more tartier but the white currants being so sweet, it does make the plate of fruit very interesting and nice on the palate. And as you can see there, some of the wood has started to get some sort of fungus on it, so we've definitely taken that out, and we can keep an eye on the rest and trim it out if need be. Like I say, we're supposed to keep the new, well, 1st and 2nd year wood, and maybe cut out the 3rd year. As you can see here, it's getting quite monstrous, but it's still throwing out lots and lots of new growth. The brown at the front could have been took out, but it's the tallest one. I'll take the fruit from that this year and cut it out in the next. Not sure whether that's 3 or 2 year old wood, but as you can see, once you've tidied those up, and this one hasn't been done, I can hack and chop at that. And sometimes I'm just trying to keep everything within the strops. As you can see, some of these I want them upright, and if I have to tie them in, I will, but we want as much fresh wood as we can to ensure we get a nice crop every year. As you can see, we've done a little bit of weeding, and the blueberry bushes are all coming out, or at least 2 of them for this time. I'm going to put them in containers with Hyecho compost and see if they do any better. If not, I should be asking everybody to let me know of a really good blueberry variety for me to try. And there's some really dead wood that's definitely got to come out. That was cut last year. It's still alive because it's threw out some nice new ones, but it was in the way, wasn't going in the right direction, so we chopped it out. There's no right or wrong way. You can have the goblet method, or like me now, I'm going straight up. I find it a lot easier, especially with the room that I've got in this fruit cage. It suits me better, and I have had better fruit crops, as you've all seen. You can see there, I've got some maintenance to do. These bits of wood have been in there such a long time now, they've rotted off and the screws have dropped out, and with the weight of extra mulching each year that I pop in, it's pushed them over. So we've got to get that done, and all these, once I've got everything sorted, I'll all have an application of log ashes, and then we'll mulch it up with whatever we've got spare. Hope you found that interesting. This is a little job I like to do, but the storms have stopped me slightly, and I've tried to do this video now so that I can crack on. If it rains, it doesn't matter. But a big thanks to Cooljob for the gloves that I've reviewed, and many thanks to everyone whose continued support has helped me carry on with this channel, because I've got new subscribers coming on and they said I've helped them. Well, if I've helped them, then it makes it all worthwhile. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta for now.